All right, greetings everybody, and welcome to week number 14. That is right, week number 14 of your 7314 class, which is your reference class. As always, I'm your professor, Dr. Jace K. Austin. And what we are going to do today is a quick state of the course update, and then I'm going to tell you the names of 5 language learning resources. Yes, 5 language learning resources that are commonly used by libraries. Some are actually resources that libraries would actually subscribe to, and then the others are things that libraries wouldn't actually subscribe to. But if you're at a smaller library that does not have the ability to actually subscribe to a language learning resource for your patrons, then there are some free things like Duolingo that you can use and still refer your patrons to. So we are going to talk about those things very quickly today. This video should take 15 minutes at the most, probably take less than that, and of course you can speed this up. And after this, you will only have one more week because, again, this is week 14. The semester is 15 weeks, so you all are on the home stretch. But what happens when you're on the home stretch? Well, let's find out. First of all, you should have your LibGuide assignment turned in by the time you watch this, because I'm going to assume that you all are going to watch this on Monday, November 27th or later. And the LibGuide is due on Monday, November the 27th, which is also when I happen to be recording this, okay? So your LibGuide needs to be finished unless there are a couple of you who have some really serious life situations pop up and you reached out to me and I did allow you all to have an extension. But if you have not contacted me for an extension by now, then yes, I am looking to see your LibGuide done and published come the end of the day today. And when I say the end of the day today, I don't mean 5 o'clock, I mean 11:59. Excuse me, I mean 11:59 p.m. And that's going to be Central Time, but there is going to be a grace period. I'm not going to start counting off points for being late unless you still haven't turned it in by the time, or still haven't published it by the time that I wake up on Tuesday morning. Now, one thing that I do need to add to that is that you all do need to make sure that you are not password protecting your LibGuides. I'm going to say that again. Please make sure you are not password protecting your LibGuides. This happens every semester where I ask the LibGuides not be password protected, at least not until after I've graded them. Then people turn around and password protect them, and I'm not able to access them, and then that slows down my grading process. And these take a long time to grade. And it slows down my grading process trying to track you down and ask you to remove your password protection. So please do not password protect these, okay? All right, and that is pretty much it with me speaking about the LibGuides. I'm looking forward to seeing the work that you all did on your LibGuides. And outside of the LibGuides, you all only have 2 things left. Ta-da! Look there, look there, look there. First of all, you do have your final discussion board prompt, which is discussion board prompt number 7, and that is going to be due on a week from Friday. Actually, a week from Thursday, okay. So yes, I made that due a week from Thursday, so on December the 7th, you do need to have that final discussion board prompt up and going, and I know that a few of you have already done that. And finally, the semester-long project that is going to be due on December the 11th. If you have not been working on the semester-long project since I sent out the message that it was up, you've got your work cut out for you, but still go ahead and try to do as much as you can. I know that some of you probably do work your best under pressure and stress when you're right up against the deadline. That is fine too. Just make sure that that semester-long project does indeed get turned into me. And if that happens, then all of us are going to be happy. And that's what I want. I want a whole class full of happy students. So there you go. Okay, so that is it for state of the course updates. And so let's now talk about the 5 language learning resources that you as a librarian will probably need to be aware of that they exist, especially if you go into public librarianship and you are asked by a patron, what do you all have to help me learn a language? Well, I'm going to tell you what you probably have or may not have. And if you don't have some of these, again, paid resources that are subscribed to by libraries, then you can always use some of the free resources and direct your patrons to those. Give me one moment, pause. Okay, so before I even go into what these various things are that libraries at times subscribe to in order to provide a language learning resource for their patrons. And even if they don't subscribe to them, they are aware of the free things that are not subscribed to. The reason why libraries are in this game is because, yes, a lot of times, especially when people want to take a trip, they just want some basic foundational support on learning a few things about a new language. A lot of times they're not just going to go out to the bookstore and buy a book. That is one of the things that public libraries actually, even to this day, still get a lot of traffic from, or a lot of traffic for, is people coming into the library saying, hey, I am going to Costa Rica, common Spanish phrases, where can I find that? Or something of that nature. And so your public libraries especially do tend to have a lot of books as well as CDs and DVDs and materials of that nature that will help patrons when they are trying to become at least conversational in a different language. And a lot of times, again, this is when they might be doing studies abroad or going on trips and stuff like that. A lot of people, again, they don't want to buy a new book just for a temporary trip. So a lot of times they'll check out a Spanish to English, English to Spanish dictionary or something of that nature for whatever language, Spanish, Japanese, French, whatever. But a book that they can take with them on the trip that tells them a few phrases and how to say them and that sort of thing. Okay. So that is one of the things that I think that people are using public libraries for now, and will be using public libraries for a while, at least until, I do think that that's one of the areas that we're probably going to get a lot of AI innovation, artificial intelligence innovation from, just to be quite honest, probably is, on the language learning tip. But, I would say probably within the next 10 years. I'm totally pulling this out of my behind, but I'm going to guess, based on my experiences and living for as long as I have, that within the next 10 years, we probably are going to have apps on our cell phones that will be able to like really just translate something for us through AI. And then language barriers, perhaps all over the world, will be broken, and people will be more easily able to move from one country to another if they're able to just say something in an app and the AI translates it perfectly and spits it right back out to the other person. So I do think that something like that is probably on the horizon and may not even take 10 years. But in the meantime, yes, let's go ahead and talk about these things that your local library may have. So in addition to those DVDs and those CDs and those books, a lot of times libraries actually have databases that can help people with foreign language learning. And the two most popular databases are things that the Olathe Public Library over in Kansas already subscribes to both of them. Now, from what I've seen, some libraries don't have either Rosetta Stone Library Edition or Mango, but a lot do have one or the other. Perhaps most, or perhaps at least half of the public libraries in this nation do have at least one or the other when it comes to Mango languages or when it comes to Rosetta Stone Library Edition. And both of these language learning resources are things that would be kind of like databases for the library. The library pays for them and then provides the access to the library members for free after paying for them. So let's, I do want to talk very quickly about these two things just because, and by the way, I'm not a member of Olathe Public Library, so I can't access these things and show them to you, but you can find video of any of these 5 things that I'm going to talk about on YouTube, okay? So yes, if you were to, they actually, Olathe kind of breaks these up, and I'm not sure that they fit into this nice of a categorical breakdown, but we're going to trust the Olathe Public Library on this. So they're saying that to become fluent in a language, they are recommending Rosetta Stone, but if you're just trying to be conversational, then Mango. I think that that's a little too categorical. I think that you can use, if you're disciplined enough, you can use Mango in order to actually become fluent in a language. And most certainly you can use Rosetta Stone to become conversational as needed. But yes, you do have a breakdown from Olathe Public Library. And so they're saying that for Mango, and Mango is a heavy player also in the library field, you all. So if you all do start going to library conferences and that sort of thing, a lot of times if you're going to national conferences, you're going to see Mango there. You're going to see them there as a vendor. They're going to have booths. Mango has sponsored parties before. They've sponsored parties with alcohol, like real tight parties and that sort of thing. Mango has once sponsored a party for librarians in during a conference in Las Vegas with the open bar. That's how Mango rolls. But Mango makes a lot of money off of libraries, and so a lot of libraries subscribe to them, and so they make sure that they give us a little something back at these conferences, let me put it that way. But yes, so Mango, Olathe is recommending Mango more so for a trip, but there are 72 languages to choose from. I think there might be a few more than that now, but as for when this page was last updated, yes, 72 languages to learn from, courses with a conversational emphasis, so that is good when you are going into a foreign country and you need to ask some basic things like, I don't know, where's the bathroom, or, you know, where can I find water, or something of that nature. Your more basic things, you'll learn how to say those things in through Mango very quickly. Interactive film-based learning, there is like this sort of thing where you kind of communicate with the avatar. Voice pronunciation comparison, cultural notes, and then courses on topics like the Carnival in Venice, wine and cheese in France, and much more. Now, they're contrasting that with Rosetta Stone, which they're recommending you use if you want to actually become fluent in a foreign language, and with Rosetta Stone Library Edition. So this is different from, like, I'm old enough to remember you used to be able to go to Best Buy. I actually used to go to Best Buy and buy CDs. That's when I did when I was younger. When I was in college, but that was many, many years ago. So I remember that. But back when you could go to Best Buy to buy CDs, you could also go to Best Buy to buy software like Rosetta Stone. But what you would see for $500 at Best Buy for Rosetta Stone, that was something that's different from the Rosetta Stone Library Edition that you can access for free. It's based on that, but it's not quite the same as what they used to sell for $500 back in the day. And I'm sure you all have probably noticed, if you're my age, they used to have a lot more Rosetta Stone commercials on TV 20 years ago, 15 years ago than they do now. Okay, but yes, so Rosetta Stone has 30 languages to choose from, so not quite as many as Mango, but they go into more immersive learning and that sort of thing. So 30 languages to learn from, but you can learn through context and not just translation. There are core lessons on reading, writing, speaking, and listening skills, and there is speech recognition feedback to help you pronounce your words more effectively, and then also memory building exercises. So again, most of your public libraries are going to have one or the other. Oh God, we're at 13 minutes. Most, maybe not most, but probably around half of your public libraries in the United States have one of the two. They either have Mango languages or they have Rosetta Stone Library Edition, and some libraries like Olathe Public Library have both. Now, what are some other things outside of those two? And I've got to hurry because okay, so we may go a little bit over 15 minutes, but we won't go much longer over 15 minutes. So the Kansas City Public Library, which I am a member of, they have Bluebird. They also have Mango, but they do have Bluebird, and Bluebird is another app that you can actually download Bluebird from libraries that host it, but it has 163 of the world's most popular languages, including they also have ESL, which is English as a second language. They have ESL courses and that sort of thing. And oh wow, 6 million hours of pre-recorded lessons. So that is a lot. That is a lot. But yes, Bluebird is another one of these things. And some academic libraries actually have Bluebird as well. So if you don't have Mango or Rosetta Stone Library Edition, then Bluebird is another one that you may want to ask about. And another one that you may want to ask about is going to be Pronunciator, which also has 163 languages, including English as a second language. My understanding is that Pronunciator and Bluebird are very similar in how they function. That's my understanding. I don't know if that's true because I've never actually accessed this one, and I've only accessed Bluebird once. when I played around with these things, I mostly use Mango because they have the most name recognition in our field. Excuse me. But yeah, so Pronunciator and Bluebird actually have very similar functions, and actually you can see they also have very similar amounts of content if we go by what's in our sites here. And finally, you all are actually probably familiar with this last one that I'm about to tell you about. If you belong to a library that just can't afford Mango and Rosetta Stone and Bluebird and Pronunciator, then what you can go to, oops, sorry about that, what you can use is Duolingo. Duolingo is free. It can be added to any cell phone. They do have, well, I shouldn't say any cell phone, but certainly any Android and any iPhone, Apple iPhone that you use, you can install Duolingo on it, and Duolingo is free. I do believe there's a little bit of paid content on Duolingo, but you can certainly access a lot of the content for free, and a lot of the content that you can access for free is that content that's going to get the ball rolling on learning another language. So this is specifically for my people who know that their library isn't going to be able to, let's say you work at a small rural library somewhere or something of that nature, but a library that's not going to be able to set aside budget to they're not going to be able to dedicate budget to subscribing to something like Mango or Rosetta Stone. That is perfectly fine. When your patrons come in and say, do you have Mango? Do you have Rosetta Stone? They may have heard of it. You might have to say no, but you might be able to tell them, but instead of those, have you heard of Duolingo, which you can use for free? Then you tell them about Duolingo, help them download it, and you may have a satisfied patron once you do that. So I am going to leave it right there. I tried to keep it under 15 minutes, but it looks like we're going to be at 17:30. Oh, well, that's what happens. I hope you sped it up. I am Dr. Jace, and we are only 2 weeks away from finishing this reference race. I'm glad you joined me for the race, and let's continue to be awesome. I will see you all throughout the week and next week in the final check-in video. Bye-bye.